many of us embrace our New Year's fitness resolutions. Some are asking themselves if they've lost a step due to an indulgent Christmas or perhaps long COVID. A team at Nottingham University is now attempting to chart the long-term effects of the coronavirus. Let's talk about it, should we? Dr Joanne Stocks from the University of Nottingham and co-investigator of the Running Through Looking at Long COVID Symptoms study, and Gareth Nelson, personal trainer and organiser of the Milton Keynes Park Run. Hello to you both. Thank you for joining us on the programme. Doctor, to you first of all, if I may, does long COVID impact on our fitness levels?
Well, that's what we're wanting to look at. We set this study up in February last year, and we wanted to look at the effect of the lockdown restrictions, the effect of COVID, and obviously the vaccinations that have now come about. So this is a unique opportunity where we've been able to follow, at the moment we're following over 3,000 people, and we're going to follow them up for another year, and they share their running data with us from their smartwatches, and we'll be able to track this to see people that, when they've said they've had COVID, how long these symptoms actually last for.
And Gareth with us. Gareth, you're a personal trainer as well. To what extent is it people, do you think, with long COVID, or people that have just perhaps not done too much exercise over Christmas or whatever, and are thinking, oh, that's what this is down to, as opposed to our fitness levels dropping over the Christmas and festive period?
Yeah, it's so easy to feel as if just your general fitness has dropped because of the lack of general movement or getting out and about. So it's sometimes hard to tell whether it's caused by having the COVID virus or obviously if people sometimes have felt they had COVID but tested negative, it may be possibly they just had a very, very small amount of it, or it could have been they just had a cold and it's just affected their overall ability to exercise in that time. So of course, the more time we've spent not moving over the last couple of months, the harder it is getting back into it now.
Yeah, I can testify to that. Plenty of junk in the trunk at the moment. Doctor, if you are still recovering from COVID, what should you do? What sort of exercise do you think is appropriate? Or do your findings suggest that we just need to sit at home and wait until we're better?
Well, at the moment, we're not in a position to advise people. So what we found initially, what we've looked at over the last year, we looked at people's physical activity during lockdown and since the lockdown restrictions finished in July. And we found that the amount of exercise that people are doing has already reduced. So obviously it's not surprising that people were exercising during lockdown. Lots of people were furloughed, they had lots of extra time, probably weren't commuting to work, so people had time to exercise. So we found that on average, people are running about 6 kilometres a week less than they were during lockdown, and also that they're reducing the frequency that they're participating. So it's not surprising that people's fitness is going down, and also we're now in the winter months. It's less enjoyable to go out in the wind and the rain and the icy conditions. Sure. So people are participating less as well.
Yeah, although I've always enjoyed running in the rain, weirdly. Gareth, what impact has the pandemic had on people taking part in park runs?
Yeah, so we've certainly seen in Milton Keynes, and I suspect across pretty much the whole country, that numbers are down quite considerably. Ours is probably down to about 50 to 60% of what we were seeing pre-pandemic. So it's clear that there aren't as many people who are doing parkrun, but that may not be that they've lost the fitness, that they just simply don't want to be hanging around in those larger groups.
It's fascinating to talk to you both. Look forward to hearing more about the findings of the research. Thank you so much for joining us on the programme this morning. Much appreciated.
Can I just say, if anyone else would like to take part, they can visit runningthrough.org, and we're still taking people.
Yes, you can, and yes, you did. Lovely to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Is it the weather for a run this morning? Let's find out.